This lesson is taken straight from my Digitakt II Mastery Course. If you want to dive deeper and get the full training, check the link below. You can also sign up for an exclusive discount, and when you do, I'll send you more details about the course and how it can level up your music. So now we're just going to quickly talk about the trig parameters, and I will cover these in more depth as we go through this module, but I just want to quickly give you an overview of what we've got. So to start with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose something that sounds kind of synthy. So let's have a look at this one maybe. That one will do. Right, so let's just look at what we've got. So on the trig page with the trigs, what you can do is change how they work. So if we go here, we've got notes to start with, which is pretty self-explanatory. I've already used this. What I can do is just put in trigs like this and change the note value. So let's maybe just do a short sequence to make it easier for us. Let's have a listen to that. And then what we've also got is velocity. So if I turn the velocity right down, you'll hear that it's quiet. And this is quite useful if you just want to put in some ghost notes on the trig page. Normally with ghost notes, I end up doing it on the amp page with the volume, but you can do it here as well. And then what we can also do is change the length as well. So you'll hear that, not with this because I've kind of, let me just go back actually. It's not working because I need to change this. So that's the release or decay time. And now this will work. Because on the amp page, what we've got is the hold is set to note. So you can actually make that shorter. But if you set it to note, you can all function to snap it as well. That responds to length. And then you've got your decay as well. So if we make that really snappy, open that up, it will allow a little bit of decay to come through. We're going to bring that right down. And then we're going to lock these changes to stuff as well. So you can change the length of each one. Maybe I'll bring it right down like this. And then I'll open some up. So that's the note length. Very useful when you're creating like long bass notes and stuff like that. And then to the right of that, we've got probability. You can use this globally, so you can bring it down. It just means some notes won't play. There's a percentage. If you put it quite low, they're quite sparse. So it's basically randomizing when the trigs are played with probability. You can also lock that as well. So let's say that last one, you want it to play 50% of the time, you can do that. And then we've got LFO trig and filter trig. So if you basically turn the filter down like this and have envelopes, so every time a trig hits, you get this jump. What we can do is we can go into the trig page and we can turn that off. And now it's not jumping as much because the trig is not triggering the filter. But what we can do is we can choose some of them to be trigged like this. So only those notes are triggering the filter. And then we've got the same with the LFO as well. We'll come on to LFO later. But if we then set up, let's have a look at this filter frequency. And let's turn off this envelope now. And let's just speed it up a bit. That'll do. Right, so I just re-triggered it on every note. So basically with this, what happens is if we turn the LFO retrigger off, it won't re-trigger the filter. So it's allowing the trigger to run freely. But if we turn it on for some of the notes, it will restart the LFO. So that's another thing we can do. We can also hold the trigs and just reset these as well. So maybe we'll just reset them. Let's clear that page. Right, so the other thing I want to talk about is the fill and the condition. We're going to go into these very deeply throughout this module, but for now, I'm just going to quickly show you what they do. So the fill, if I set these first four to that fill mode, it means that I can press this button. And whenever I hold it, it will start fill. It's probably better to show you that with a snare drum. Maybe I'll show you that now. So I often do this trick a lot. I've probably already done it in this course already, but we've got this snare drum, but we only want the on beat on the 5, to sound most of the time. But then we want to add some fills in like this. So there's more to it than that, and we'll go into what the other one is for later. And then conditional, That just gives us conditional for the trigs. Not going to go into this too much, but basically we already used one of them earlier, and that was to basically say that the first note, we did this on micro timing, the first note would play on the first bar, and then the second one that we had would play on the second bar. And then there's some other stuff in there as well, like these, and we'll talk about them. Just wanted to show you how to access them. Then we go to the second page by either pressing the trig again or down. Then we get some other stuff as well. Again, we won't go into this too much, but we've got retriggers. They used to be on the up and down, say like on the Syntax and Digitakt 1. What you can do is you can retrigger a hit, and then we can change the length. Let's change the length to 4. So it's going to re-trigger over 4 notes, and then we can set the rate as well like this. That's how you get all your glitchy stuff. You can also change the fade as well. So it goes down in volume or up in volume. And then we've also got, let me go back to the other sound. We've also got Portamento as well. So you can hear that gliding between the notes now, and that's the time for it. Again, we'll cover that again in more detail with some better examples. So that's just one lesson. There's loads more waiting inside the full Digitakt 2 course. If you want to see what's included and grab a discount, sign up with your email below and I'll send you all the details. So I'll see you in the next video.